What's going on YouTube? My name is JayLiebs, and today I'm joined by my friend Sydney.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
So, you were starting to tell me a little bit about your business and kind of what you're doing with creatives.
Definitely.
And so tell them and tell me a little bit more.
Sure. So I run a site called Commaful. It's a short story site where people from all over the world share fan fiction, poetry, short stories. Essentially trying to bridge this generation that grew up with Instagram and Snapchat with reading, writing, fiction. All our stories are kind of a picture book style format.
Okay.
So it has visuals, GIFs, images, and it feels a little like a Snapchat story, but it's all fiction, it's all reading, writing. And then we also invest in some stories and produce some stuff from the stories that are on our site. We work with the creators, help make them money, and really get them scale.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm a writer, and
awesome.
Obviously a creator, so this resonates with me very much. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been doing this for?
So it started off as just a quick thing that my co-founder and I built for ourselves a couple years ago, since we had writing backgrounds.
Right.
We built it just for fun, and then we really drilled down on it over the last 2 years, 1.5 years.
That's awesome. And so how do you go about finding the creators that you're working with for this platform?
Sure. So to start off, we reached out to people we knew in our network, and we basically begged them to try it out, to put stuff up there. But ever since then, it's really been a snowball effect. So when people join the site, they'll share stories, they tell their friends about it. A few more people join. One of them is usually a creator, make some stuff, and really just snowballed from there. So
I'm a writer. I have met you.
Yes.
How does this process unfold? Like what are you looking for in writers? I know that you said off camera that you have like your illustrators and everybody else kind of like, so it's the writers you're looking for?
So on our main site, anyone can post. And because I mentioned there's like a visual format, so you can write text, you can also add images to it. It allows for this, I guess, unique way of creative expression that you can't find anywhere else on the internet. So when we have writers, usually they're romance writers or horror writers or fiction writers, pretty much every niche you can think of, a lot of fan fiction as well. So every like film, movie, fandom you can think of are probably hosted on our site at some point. People make those types of stories. And a lot of people are also talented illustrators. So they'll actually illustrate stories or draw anime and then put that on our site as well. And then that's where I guess when I mentioned the investment side comes in, we'll invest in creators that have those illustrations and then that have those types of stories that we want on our site. We bring in professional illustrators, professional writers, and really work with that writer to create something premium.
So on the platform right now, it's basically like a Medium or DeviantArt type of thing. Like anybody could sign up and anybody could be on the platform sharing their stories or their illustrations.
Yeah, exactly.
Or animations.
It's
or
open
whatever.
sharing, pretty much just like a YouTube.
Right. And then from there, you guys curate and invest in talent that you find on your own platform.
I'd say it's very similar to YouTube and YouTube Premium or YouTube Red, like essentially identifying what's working, what's not working. And with fiction, it's a little easier to kind of tell what quality is. And we're able to work with that to build something special.
There's certain standards. You can see how far along somebody is in the process. And
Certainly.
Like
and what's really amazing is there's so many diamonds in the rough. Like we find so many of those on our site where they're representing people from all over the world, right? Like Hollywood, I think, that you need to make a huge return. They're pretty big budgets, $50 to $100 million budgets. So you have to invest in something that you're very confident will win. For us, that gives us more room to experiment. So because we're on, running on very quick, kind of smaller budgets, and we're investing in a wide number of creators, it allows us to experiment with things that traditional Hollywood may not be able to try, and work with creators that are from diverse backgrounds.
Awesome. And then are you taking those stories that you're investing in, since you're mentioning Hollywood? And then pitching them to, like, now that you've invested in them and kind of developed them and built them up?
Not yet. Right now we're working with the creators directly and helping them monetize their work directly through us. But in the future, I think there are a lot of things that are possible when you have great content, when you have great creators. There are just so many things in the horizon that could be possible, and that could be one of them.
And then this monetization that you keep talking about, I'm sure everybody wants to know how that works.
So we have a subscription section of the site, essentially, and in this specific area, we basically put all the stories that we produce in there. So on the site itself, there's a lot of really high quality stories. There's also stories that you may not want to read. The quality level varies. A lot of our writers, are relatively new. They're trying new things. They're experimenting with things. We take the stuff that already works, and then we put that in the premium section. We work with them. We bring in professional writers. So the quality bar there is guaranteed. Right. Whereas on our site, it will span the gamut. You'll find things that are fantastically written. You'll find things that have amazing ideas, but maybe poor execution. Like you'll find things across the board.
Right. That's very interesting. So from there, where do you want this to go? Like where do you want this to develop into? You've been doing this for a few years. You've been developing talent on the platform. How does this move forward in your vision?
Yeah, I mean, we really see ourselves as, I guess, what you can kind of think of as like a digital Hollywood or a mini mobile Hollywood, where we can essentially identify all types of creators and really help them, jumpstart their careers, right? So they can build an audience on our site. They can create stories that they can't tell anywhere else in the world on any other platform because of our unique format. Yep. And essentially giving a voice to a lot of these creative minds that may not have the budget to make a big film, may not have the resources to, or may not want to be in front of a camera talking, right? Giving that creative kind of, generation, that group, a voice, and essentially helping them develop their works.
And also, I would assume like the people that maybe don't want to go through the process of developing a personal brand and building themselves up in order to be a writer.
And I really hope that we can help them do that in many ways, that they can, through our platform, build their personal brand and make that process easier for them too.
Just a few more technical questions, I guess. When somebody is writing on your platform, do they maintain the rights to their content?
Yeah, so it operates just like a YouTube. They give us rights to basically show it on our site, and then also share it through social. So those are the only rights that they give us. They own complete rights to otherwise.
Even when you guys are investing in them, or
so when we do investments, that becomes I guess a case-by-case basis. Okay. So depending on the situation, depending on who it is, depending on how the writing is structured and what we are looking to do with it, that is a case-by-case basis.
Awesome. And so who are you looking for now? Like, do you feel like tell the audience kind of how they can get involved? Yeah. And who you're looking for, kind of what your archetype is.
Definitely. I mean, we've got a few 100,000 people that visit the site monthly. The big goal for us is to continue to grow the talent pool, the people who are reading. The community is the key to the entire piece of the puzzle. So for us, like anyone who wants to be part of the community, who wants to support readers, who wants to support writers, who wants to discover writers before they're huge. Our site's commaful.com, COMMAFUL.com.
And that'll be in the description down below, as people are used to on YouTube.
Yeah, and we're just excited to meet new creators, work with new writers, and really develop this new batch of talent.
All right, well, that's awesome. Thank you very much for joining me on
man.
this.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And check out the links below in the description. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more interviews from VidCon or from wherever else I end up next. And check out the website if you are a writer or creator and you're looking to, develop that into a professional career. Have a good one.